like you mentioned a few gems. You mentioned you got burned, but you said now going forward, I want to be hands-on in my business. I'm not just going to sign everything off to you. And I think, that is very important as a business owner, no matter, not even just anybody, just make sure you know what you're doing before you jump into it. And even if you don't know what you're doing, at least try to learn as much as you can while you're in whatever you're doing. So that was one gem you mentioned. And then you also mentioned like understanding, all right, going forward, I'm not going to just jump to that 10th level. I'm okay with starting slow, starting small and working my way up. You had the $500,000 crib, you had the G-Wagons and the Mercedes-Benzes, and you was like, I'd rather just start off slow going forward. So those are two of those major gems I took away just from that part right there.
The importance of hard work. Like, yes, we're blessed. You have two parents that actually work. Yes, we can get you things, but you need to be able to earn them themselves. And I love my youngest. My youngest, she has such a spirit like me. Like, she's all about the money. She saves her money. My two older teenagers, they spend all of their money. But my youngest, she saves like crazy. And then when she saves and gets her money up, she likes to spend. And then she'll say, okay, I can't spend no more. I got to save. But my youngest bank account is bigger than even the oldest two. So you probably can't even see this. It may not be clear on there, but my youngest, she's 900. And this is where her bank account is at. And it would be bigger. It would be bigger if she didn't buy. She just went on a shoe shopping spree. I mean, she bought like 3 pairs of Jordans. Like,
how old is she?
Like 13.
13 with $930 in the bank account?
Yeah, and in cleaning, you can make money by the work of your own hand versus working for somebody else. Like, I think those are the biggest gems that I'm teaching all the kids.
No, that's those are amazing gems. And I was just thinking about the college part of it. If I would have, my dorm was pretty good, but when I moved into the frat house we had six guys, and it was pretty decent. But if we would have had a cleaning service come every other week before the parties that we had or after the parties, that would have been clutch right there. So you're teaching your kids not only just how to manage money, but also how to make money with the family. But then when they go out and make it on their own, they may realize it's not as sweet as we thought it was, working with somebody that we don't know. So those are just some major gems that you just dropped on everyone listening. As we transition into just more of where you are today with your cleaning business, let's kind of talk about that. So obviously you're one of our, superstars in the community, one of our superstar students, only because it's not just conversations about cleaning, it's conversation about life, it's conversation about business, fatherhood, just everything all around. So what drew you to like Cleaning Business University, and where are you at in your business now, and where are you looking to go forward the next couple, I'd probably say this year?
Yeah, well, what drew me to the university, as I told you, again, you said Michelle was here, so shout out to you because I mentioned you in terms of that's why I started my cleaning business, just watching one of her reels. Fast forward, maybe, like I said, 1.5 years after already having my cleaning business. And of course, I like I told you, some of the things I dealt with before with the bankruptcy, I honestly was scared to level up. I know I could, like people were mentioning to me. I even told my parents, like, man, I need to hire some people, but I'm kind of scared of leveling up. And I had saw y'all on Instagram as well, talking about, your story and all what y'all have done. And so I started just following y'all, tuning into the YouTubes, tuning into the Instagram lives. And I probably followed y'all for another 8-9 months, easy. Like, I didn't just jump at it. I was like, let me see what they're talking about. Let me see how consistent they are. Because everybody's selling stuff. You think about coming out of the pandemic, and even right in the pandemic, it left an opportunity for so many people to start businesses, to do things, and everybody's selling everything on Instagram and Facebook. Like, everybody's just selling stuff. So you really had to like vet people out to make sure that they were who they were, they say they were, because you could easily just throw your money away. And I wasn't about throwing no money away. So I had it on the back burner. And one of my other business mentors that was like helping me with the Instagram and like kind of polishing up that a little bit, told me way back when, he was like, you need to focus on your cleaning business. He was like, out of everything you told me that you're doing, like, your cleaning business is probably the best thing that you probably can do to push you into that area of wealth. It just came a point in time when I was like, I'm really ready to leave my 9 to 5. And I know I'm like, my wife was just talking to me. She was like, well, as the kids are going to get out of the house, you probably got like a 5-year window. Like, that's what she came up with, like a 5-year window to, eventually be done possibly with your 9 to 5. All the kids are out of the house. and you could probably go into full-time entrepreneurship. So that really gave me the pieces of the puzzle to be like, all right, I need to focus on this cleaning business and really get it to where it needs to be, so I can even prove to her that we'll be good without having the 9 to 5, you know, as well. Because, you know, it's just
shout out to the wives too.
Yeah. Because without my wife, I would have quit. I didn't quit my job like 100 times without her. She always brings me down back to earth. Because I'm like, man, I don't need this. Like, I can make some money. Like, I got the hustle, I got the grind, I can make some money. But she was like, no, like, you know, you still need insurance. We still, you know, just the practical things sometimes that you don't think about jumping into entrepreneurship, especially when you have kids. All my kids play sports, they're active. And some of those things I just kind of got to ride out, you know, as being the sole provider. And my wife works too, but I don't want to give her no undue hardship by saying I'm quitting my job and then just like some months it be, you know, the ebb and flow, and then wanting her to just take it all over. So yeah, she's talked me over the ledge several times. So to answer your question, so that was the piece, like the catapult, like the catalyst, you know. It's been maybe 8 or 9 months now, give or take, where I was like, I have to level up.
So you mentioned like you were scared to level up. So what does leveling up look like to Correy and your cleaning business? What does that look like from going from the university to like, what does leveling up look like for you?
Man, leveling up was ultimately being able to have contractors, a virtual assistant, and really being as hands-off as I could be. The biggest thing I wanted was just getting out of the field. That was like the number one priority. Again, I was cleaning with every clean we had. I would have my hands in it as being, you know, the owner. And even with my family's help, I was at every clean. And it was my goal to get out of cleaning from the day to day. And even 8 months later, I'm like 90% out of the day to day. Like, I almost cringe now when I'm almost having to be left with cleaning, because now I'm so comfortable with being behind the laptop, orchestrating everything, even working with my VA. Like, there's times where we may have missed something and it's just like, I could suck it up and go to the job, but no, we're just going to reschedule you. Or we may just have to cancel you, because I'm more productive being able to kind of, you know, be the puppeteer and making sure all of my contractors are good, making sure my virtual assistant is good, making sure I can do marketing and promo. Like, I'm better doing that versus, you know, spending the time out in the field. So that's how I look at it. Like, I just rather be out of the field.
If you guys are watching this video on YouTube, please give this a like, a thumbs up, whatever YouTube needs us to do to get this conversation out there, because you got a black dad with his black dad, and he's also teaching his kids about building wealth by actually doing the work. Like, I don't know when you started like working, but I started working at like around probably like age 12. And it was just me working for like a random grocery store. If I had the opportunity to work for my family, that would be life-changing information right there. So you got your kids working for you, currently making money. They're not in the streets. They're not doing things they shouldn't be doing. You can watch over them. They can take their money, go do whatever they want to do with it. This is life-changing information right here. You're just passing out to your family.